We're gonna have a look on the checkpoint number 2 that we had last week. And remember that this is not the only way to do it. This is one way to solve it, so keep that in mind. So this is not the only solution. We're going to use the techniques we have been using before with the lists and the classes and objects and some link for sorting. So maybe have a look on the checkpoint description, what was needed. So I'm gonna open it here also. Just a moment. So like that, I'm going to share my screen also. So this was the task. Creating a console application that takes the following inputs: a category, a product name, and a price. So it's 3 different inputs from the console. This document is giving you some different ways to read it and understand it, so it's okay. I know there have been different solutions from you also sent in, so that's okay. And the level 1, to use at least one class for your application. And you should use this class for adding data to a list. And writing Q make it possible to end the input. And when done, present a list of all items. So it's pretty much what we have been doing last week also, close to us at least. So we're going to start from that. I have one empty console application starting here. So we're going to start with an empty project. I don't know where it disappeared. I'm still waiting for it to pop up. Ah, what's strange. Oh, there it is. It was behind the other page. So we start with an empty hello world here. So we're gonna, I'm just gonna end or change this to checkpoint number 2. So we have some header here. We're gonna store the things in a list of object. So I'm gonna create that class first. So I'm just gonna call it item. This item will hold these properties for category, product, and price. So this could be any name you could use. So I'm going to create these properties. I'm going to create a string called category. I'm going to create the other properties also. So we have the category, we have a product, and we have a price. I'm going to do it easy, so I'm just going to have an integer on the price, so not decimal. So that was not required. So now I created a class called item, and this one is having 3 properties. I'm going to create a constructor also for this. So quick actions and refactorings, generate constructor, choosing all the members, and OK. So now I have one constructor inside here also. So when I create a new item, I need to add all these properties. So we could go back to our code in the main section again. And we could say that we have an empty list of these items. Typing list, it will start complaining right away because we have not the correct using yet for the list. So we're going to go for the potential fixes. And it says using system collections generic. So that is the namespace we need. Like that. And we're going to do a list of items. So I could call it items also. And this is equals to a new list of items. So this is an empty list of items, so nothing inside it. So we're going to add all the data inside to this. So each time the user has added something to the inside the console, we're going to add it to this list of items. Doing some console write lines here and express what to do. Press Q to show something like that. It's not so important what it's telling. We're going to do a loop now. So as we have been doing before, we have been looping through the things when we are being adding something to an array or in a list. I'm going to go with this while and tell that it is true all the time. So to exit this while, we could use the break command. So what I want to do now is take care of the inputs. I go for a console write line again here. And telling that, or I'm going to go for a normal write without entering a new line right away. Input category, like something like that. And we're going to read this input. Adding this to a variable, telling that this is the category input, for example. So this could be any name. And I'm going to do this console read line here. So this one is taking the, now I'm going to do a check because we are doing this input in 3 different data. So I'm going to do a check each time if the category input and is equals to Q, but I'm going to go with this to lower first, making it small or letters, and I'm going to do this trim. So we have taking off the leading and trailing spaces. If this is equals to Q, we will exit this list. So just a break inside here. I'm going to check the chat right away so I don't miss anything. Hadi has also joined the meeting. Good afternoon. Yes, we're going to do this. I'm not going to have any validation or checks like that. I'm going to pretend that everything is okay. I'm not going to do any checks here. So I'm going to go for a copy paste. It's my favorite part. So I'm going to do this again with a product. So I'm just collecting all the data that is coming in. So we say Same product. And I'm going to change the name of the variable also, so it's and we're going to check also here if it's been typing in Q in the middle of everything, we could break. And we could go for the price also, copy paste that price instead. The price input like that. So now we have 3 different inputs from the user. So we have 3 different read lines and we have 3 different variables having the data. And I'm checking if in every of these inputs, if Q is been entered, then we're gonna break it. Otherwise, if everything is input and no Q, we're gonna create an object out of this data that we have. You remember we had item was the name of the class, and I'm gonna create an item object. And this is equals to a new item. And thanks to the constructor, it tells us that we need 3 different parameters for in. And we have the category input, we have the product input, and we have the price input. We'll complain about the price now. And that is why. Anyone?
Integer.
Yes, so the price input is a string now, so we need to convert it to an integer. Doing the best way, we'll go for this int try parse. You've seen it already a few times, so I'm gonna just go for this convert to int 32. So I'm pretending everything is okay, and I'm stepping over this validation part, so adding as little code as possible to making it easy to read. And this item, what should we do with that? So we just have one item here. So we could add it to the items list that is named items and add our item. So that was it. See you tomorrow. No, we have a few parts more to do. So this is adding the things to the list of items. And we're gonna do, when we are doing a break with the queue somewhere, we're gonna print out the data we have. So we could have like an header also that, and we could use this pad write thing that we had, so we make some space for each column. So I'm gonna do a console write line here with I'm gonna have the category. Category. I do this pad write and have some space for that. So I go for 20 here. And I print out the other ones also. We have the product also. And for the price, it's not necessary with the pad write because it's the last one on the right-hand side. It's creating an header or column information for us. Now it's time to do something with the data. I can't remember what was the necessary parts for level 1. There was no sorting. It was just printed out and it was added. So it just a printout should work for us. So I'm gonna go back for this thing and we're gonna do a loop inside here so we could print out the data. We could do a for or for each loop, for example. And I'm going to say that I have, for each line in the items, I have one type of item, and I'm going to name this just item. And this is in the items list, so it's a lot of items now. But I think you have this for each loop now, so we've been having it from day one almost, I think. So we're going to do a printout of the data, and the data is inside this. For each line, it's inside this item variable. So this one is not the same as this one. It's separated. They have the same name, but it's not the same data. So I'm going to go for console write line now again. And to get the information for the category, we need to go into this item variable. And oh, sorry, I was writing wrong here. So I need to get this category here. I'm gonna go for a pad write here also. Same space here with 20. And we continue with the product also. We're going to change that to product. And finally, we have this price. Where did the price? So hopefully this will do. This, I'm going to add one console read line in the end because otherwise my application will just end stopping the code here. So hopefully this will do for the level number 1. You better try it also that it's working. Run it here. And we have the window here. Zooming in a little bit. So I'm going to go for one category, for example, a car. Or the product could be a Volvo 245 GL, and the price could be so, and it repeats input the category. We could do another car, do a sub 900. We could have another price on that. This will continue until I press Q in some of the inputs. So I could, for example, do another car, and in the next position, I need to quit this. So it collects data from all these 3 different inputs, and then it adds it to the list. So if I press break it here, it will just jump out of the while loop. So I do a Q here, and it's showing us the list. So I think this was pretty much level number 1. Do I have any questions so far?
Just would like to know, in the padding we have given 20, and in case the product is have more than 20, so that will overwrite the price column. And
yes. So this is now the pad write is now solution that is fixing everything. It's limited to the length you are setting. So if I set 20, then if I have something that is larger than 20, there will be problems. So this is just for making some space. So you could actually do some calculations and checking of the strings, and maybe cutting the data and so on. So just presenting maybe maximum 20 characters in the input. So,
there is any option auto padding?
Sorry?
Is there any possibility to auto pad?
Not auto create, but you need to do a calculation. So you could have a list, for example, checking the list and checking through its properties and finding the maximum width, for example. And then you could set the pad right with that width. Did it help you?
Yes, I got it.
Yeah. So we're not going to do that now, so it will complicate the code too much. So, but it's possible to check the list and check each property and find the highest length inside the string. And with the help of that number, you could set your pad right, for example, with that.
Yeah.
So we're going to go for level number 2 then. So let's have a look on what that told us. It's the same as level 1, but it says at least 2 classes. And what we had more, we had summarize price. And it should be sorted from low price to high price. And the sum should be in the bottom of the list. So this was a little bit problematic for some of you. Adding 2 classes, wasn't maybe that easy. So it's just to remember that the class could be used in many different ways. So we're going to do one way that we made an example of last week also. So we're gonna just a moment. Where did the code disappear? Yeah, there it is. So I'm gonna go to add one more class here and do like an sorry, it's a fly here, flying. Do another class name category, for example. I'm gonna have the category information in and like an own class. So the same principle as creating other, just adding a property. And I'm gonna create one category name because I cannot use the same. I cannot name this to category also because you cannot have the same class name and property name. So I'm gonna name it name. Okay, I could have it like category name also if I want to. Maybe easier to read. We could make a constructor for this also. And generate constructor. And it's only one property, so it's a small constructor. So what does this give us for opportunity inside our code? This will actually do it for the level 2. You have another class, but you're maybe not using it. So you have 2 classes already, and this code should already works because this is not doing anything actually, but it is another class. That could have been the easy solution to use 2 classes. But we're gonna implement this also. So what to do then? Just a moment. So we could do it in different ways. So now we're going to use category inside here. So we could say that instead of having a string here, we could have it like a class category. So I would change this to category. Like that, and you see it starts to complain about things. It's saying the constructor is not, I cannot set this one as a string, and that's correct. So I could do it maybe changing the constructor here. And remember, there are so many ways to do this. So I could say that this is equals to a new category. Category, cannot spell it. And the category constructor is wanting a name for that. So what is it complaining about now? Okay, it's because I haven't stopped the coding. It's the debugging still running, so I'm going to stop it. So I did now, because I have this category class here as a type. So I need to create a new when I'm adding something to in the constructor, for example. This could be done outside also, but this is one way that works. So the constructor is still taking the string, but it's using a class inside instead. So this, you see that we have something is complaining about the code. If you're checking the error list, for example, you'll see that we have one error here, and it says that category doesn't contain a definition for pad right. So why wouldn't it be possible to run pad right on this one? Anyone?
Parameter name, the category name.
Yes, because this category, this is the object. But if I print, I would print this. It would just give me the class name. So I'm gonna need to get the property of it. So I'm gonna go for the category name. Like that. I could save the other line so we could see what it was before. You will see what it was working with. This would hopefully, we have nothing complaining anymore here. So what did we have to do then? We would something with sorting, and yeah, sorting was one part. So we could do a sort here also. Thinking. Thought.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
Matt.
Yes.
I just want to ask you, why are you leaving this like a comment?
This is because we are doing 3 different levels in the code. And the first one here that I commented away is covering the level 1, is what is necessary for level 1. So I'm just saving it so for you to see. I could delete it. It's not doing anything in the code.
No, it's okay. Just just wanted to know. Thanks.
So I did the same also with the things here. So just to see what we had before. So what we started with. So I could have been writing like level 1 here, so making it easier to see. And I could do the same over here also. So I want to sort this. So I could go here for a sort, and you remember how to sort. One way to sort at least. So it was using link. So I could like create a new list of items. Call it sorted items. And this, I'm gonna use the original list first. And I'm gonna go with order by. So order by was the sorting. Now it will complain about this. And this is because I need to add link in the using section in the top. So I'm gonna use using system link. And it will be added up here, you see. So now I'm able to use this, and I'm going to do this with the lambda expression. Item, for example, this could be any name you want, but it could be good to have something that is a bit descriptive of what it is. So the same name on the both sides, and we could sort it on price. Was that thing? And this is just making an internal sort of list, but we want to make it to our to list because we have a list of items that we are using. So now we actually sorted the things. So we would also like to, we're going to change this. So we're going to print out the sorted items. So I could do a copy here also. See, this will not be beautiful yet, but I will fix it. I go for level 1 here. This was the level 1. Now we're using the level 2. And you remember when the things are starting to pop, you see that this curly bracket is moved to the right here. So you could just mark like this and go for the shortcut, short keys. What is its name? Short keys. Do Control plus K plus F, for example. So it will format your code so it's looking good again. So in this case, we are going to go for the sorted items. This is out. We still need to do some calculations about the sum also of the price. So we could use the sum link sum method. And as we are already using price, it's an integer, so we know that the result will be an integer. I'm just going to create a variable named sum and tell that this is equals to the items. It doesn't matter if I go for items or sorted items, they are still having the same information, but one is sorted, so sum, and I'm going to do this lambda expression again. Item and item dot price. So this will calculate the sum of all prices. So I could print out this information after I printed out the list of the sorted items. So just doing another console write line, and I could tell that sum, get a little bit more beautify. So this will be on the left side, so I want to force it to be on the right hand side. So I could do that with a pad right here also. But instead of 20, I should go for 40 right away because I'm jumping over 2 columns. And just adding the sum, integer sum here. Something like that. Was this covering everything? Should have a check on this. So what did we do? We having two classes, yes. We are summarizing the price. We have been calculating it, and the list should be sorted from low price to high price, and the sum at the bottom. So let's try the code. So we should enter if you have two cars, for example, we're gonna have the most expensive car in the top. So we fix the sorting. And the price should be, we're gonna go for, something like that. We have a Saab that is a little bit cheaper. No, I made something wrong here. I made the category Saab. Yeah. We go, this will be nice. It was sorted in price anyways. So I have two categories. That doesn't matter. And a little bit cheaper, this one. I'm pressing Q here. Should give me a list. So what's interesting here is the price. You see that it's sorted with the Saab first and the Volvo then. And we have a price here in the bottom also. It's the sum of these two cars. And you see that I'm using the pad right here. With 20, it will be take this size. Or 20, 40, I mean. So category had 20 and product had 20. So I added 40 here. So it's taking up that position. So you get the prices in the same column. So this was level number 2. Do we have any questions so far? Nothing. It's great. It was easy. So we check for level number 3. What's required for that one then? Same two classes, summarizing, same, and sorting, and making it possible to add more products after presenting the list. And add error handling. I'm not going to do that. Refactoring, we're already using LINQ, so there's no need for that. I think error handling, you now are aware about how to check if it's an integer, for example, or what it is. You have these possibilities to use like try parse or something like that. So we're just going to focus on the classes and lists now. So actually what we want to add now is making it possible to add more data. So how should we do that? So we already added data, and we were going for Q, stepping out of the while loop and presenting the list. How could we get back to that while loop? That could be easily done. Not saying too much, but we could, after we've done all these things with the lists, gonna just add one empty line here. Nothing, just adding some space. Doing another console write line and telling that S Q plus enter exit press, or any kind of a character to add more items. So we could do a check on what's been entered here. So I'm going to do a variable just reading the read line. I'm going to call it decision. And that is console read line. And just a simple if statement here. If this, how do I write it? To lower. I'm doing a trim, so just letter. So checking if this is, I forgot something here. Parentheses. So if we have done Q, we're gonna do something here. So what I want to do now actually is I want to add just one more while outside here. We have 2 while loops. So you're thinking, is this even possible? Yes, it is. So let's go for this one here. So in this final question here, if we are pressing Q to enter, to exit, or just enter to add more things, we just do another break inside here. So we have 2 while loops. So the first is the bigger one, and then we go into the smaller one here where we are entering all the data. And when we are pressing Q inside that, we will end up here and we will present the data. And after that, we get this question again about pressing Q and enter to exit, or just enter to add more items. So actually, we could press anything plus enter except Q. So this will just check if this is a Q, we do another break and we end outside our, so the application will finish. If pressing Q, it will, not Q, I mean, if I press enter, it will just continue in the loop and come up here again and start over with this code. Start asking for more data. So we could try that is working also. Gonna add some data here. We're gonna have a car, a Volvo. Gonna do another car. We're gonna do a Saab. We're gonna press Q here. We have a list. And we have the question in the bottom here telling us press Q plus enter to exit, or just press enter to add more items. So if I press enter here, it starts asking for other products or categories. So I could tell that this is a motorcycle, Suzuki, some model, and other price. Pressing Q here again. We get the list again here. So this was level 3 when skipping the error handling. Do you have any questions on level 3? So this could have been done in many different ways. This is just one way.
Can you please do the price check for the conversion for the integer to vector, because I was a little bit confusing in this. So if you can do again.
If you check the code with a price calculation, or was it that?
Just for conversion. Because if we enter the character in a manner instead of number.
Yeah, as I told you, I have no checks in this solution. Or what was that the question?
Just because we have to perform with the parse functions, so can you just apply it so actually was
okay, I thought we made it so many times that you already knew it, I thought. So you need to add more checks here, so you could you need to convert it. If you use the int try parse, for example, you should we could have like, let me see how to add it here. I would easily go for another while loop inside for each input, for example. So you need, for example, if we go just for the price, I would do it like, I would put, oh, this is getting much now. I wasn't prepared for this, but you need to do for example, this int try parse, checking if the input is a value. So if it's not a value, you should ask the question again. So you should have a while loop around this.
in this the code.
Sorry?
In this area, we need a while loop.
Yes, so you need to check each input. So the same with the products and categories. If you want to have some validation, you need to check what the input was. So for the price, for example, if I would do it like, I would do a bool here is value, for example, telling that this is an int parse, and I would go for the input, price input, price input, and I would take out an int value, for example. So I would do a check here. If is value. If is value. Someone is writing here. Yes, we are going. We are as Ernst is mentioning, we are coming into try catch handling later on. So that is also a good way to check data and validation. What I wanted to do is keep a simple structure for showing you with using the list and classes and objects. So adding this validation would make it more complicated to read the code. So we could check here if this is a value. If this is true, we could do something. So we need to then we could trust the value. We could check that if this is not the value. We could say like a console write line. Incorrect number or price. And then we should repeat that question again. So do a while loop inside here. And doing another true. You will see why I meant that I wanted not to show you this. So if this is incorrect, it will just repeat this. Otherwise, I would go for a break here. So then we are breaking out this section. So we need to get this price input, the variable name we should have outside here. We could have like a string input here. Oh, sorry. Carrying it outside, and then we would set it inside here. So this is taking care of the situation, but maybe it's making it more difficult to see the solution. Hadi is telling that data annotation is really easy and do. Yes, we are coming to these parts with doing try-catch and data annotations. We are going for Fluent APIs and the things. A lot of things will happen when we come to databases. So checking data validation with just pure strings and inputs like this it's taking a lot of time. We're moving on to things that make it more easy for you to use data validation. So when we end up with doing this web pages, we have like it will be almost automatic validation of the data. So this is why I'm not putting too much attention to the data validation. So this will make it really messy. The code will get messy soon. So you need to separate it and split it up to maybe methods and so on. But at this level, I don't want to introduce too many things. So did this help anything? Was it Saeed asking?
Yes, thank you.
And you need to, when you have the value here, you need to insert the value down here. So you need to maybe declare the value outside here. And not in here. So it's a lot of information getting here. So, and instead of adding the price input to the item, we should use the value instead. So my adding a comment is, so we could use the value outside here instead. Because this is the value we get out of this try parse.
Yeah.
But it's because it's inside a while, we need to declare it outside, so it's available all the way.
Yeah.
So it's easily getting a lot of complicated things. It's looking complicated. It's actually pretty easy, but it adds tons of code here. So just to be aware of it. So this is why I didn't want to show you the validation. Do we have any more questions about it? So nothing more. So please continue with the material we have. If you're done already with this inheritance, have a look on the rest of the links that we have. And I know if all of you are still running the last week's links, because there was a lot of links last week. So please continue with that. We're going to continue to have a look on your solutions you sent to us, and so we will we will be sending you a mail about it. So level 4, we're not going through level 4. It was something extra, so this would be much more complicated. So there's a few of you that have made it. So if anyone wants to show it, it's okay. But we're not going to go through this time. So Hadi has updated his solution. Yeah, that's great. I'm not sure if anyone has checked your previous one before, but so try when you are sending solutions, try to keep it to the next final day before you send in, so we don't have too many mails from you. Any hint on the search? No, we're not going to go through that now. So it's a lot about you could use a link and some where things, so we're looping through the data. And there are some ways to highlight the information also. So if you know what data you have, you could do easily a console write line with a different color, or a control write without the line. So you could be mixing data on the same line, something in another color. Yeah, you could send it. I'm not sure if Ernst has had a check on your previous version already, but send it in anyway. So, any more questions? Otherwise, see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock. We continue with the inheritance part. Okay, see you then.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yes, thank you very much.